Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajaraye. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today I've been asked to speak on the glories of Srimati Radharani, Mahabhava Swarupini Srimati Radha Thakurani. It is in preparation for welcoming Srimati Radharani tomorrow in the US. Here it is the most auspicious appearance day of Srimati Radharani is being celebrated tomorrow, and I believe in India it will be celebrated on Monday. So it's just to help us be in the proper mood so that we can welcome this day, because it is said that the auspicious day is non-different from the personality, so that we can properly welcome Srimati Radharani tomorrow. With that mood, we will try to prepare our consciousness so that we can, in the right mood, welcome Srimati Radharani tomorrow. So I was actually reading a very, very, one thing that always used to strike me, that why is the color of our sannyasis, the renunciant monks, our sannyasis, our Guru Vargas, why is it saffron? I never got a proper answer for that. Why is the color of renunciation saffron? And recently, I came across this conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Lokanath Goswami from Sri Prem Vilas. This is a very beautiful book, Sri Prem Vilas, and there it is mentioned by Lord Chaitanya himself. Mahaprabhu is explaining from texts 126 to 134. This is what Lord Chaitanya is saying. Amaro lagiya Radha adi shokhi gono birahe brakula hoiya tejilo jibon ami hote jibo prano tahar lagiya se dasho hoibo tumi shunibe thakiya. Feeling separation from me, Radha and the gopis have given up their lives. Now I shall also give up my life for her. you will see me in that condition, O Lokanath. Dhoribo taharo kanti poribo runa bason hoibo taharo dasha anandito mon. Adopting Radha's complexion and the saffron-colored cloth of separation, I will become her maidservant and get happiness. Ei lagi aruna basana dibo gaya jopibo tahar guno kohilo tomaya. Wearing the saffron-colored dress of separation on my body, I will sing the glorious qualities of Srimati Radharani. So the saffron-colored dress, the Aruna Vashana, Aruna, when the sun is about to rise or when the sun is about to set, the color becomes saffron. The sky becomes saffron in color. So the color of separation from Krishna, when Krishna was separated from Srimati Radharani, Srimati Radharani gave up her clothing. She actually would stop, Srimati Radharani is a very exquisite dresser. She's very, very particular about how she dresses, very particular. She wears very specific kind of clothing, very specific kind of jewelry. All of this she used to do for the pleasure of Krishna. Not that she wants to be particular, but she knows that when Krishna sees her like this, he becomes very pleased and happy. So in order to please Krishna, Srimati Radharani would dress very meticulously. She's a meticulous dresser. This is one of her 25 special qualities. She's a very meticulous dresser. But once Krishna was separated from Srimati Radharani, it is explained that Srimati Radharani, she stopped doing any kind of shringar. She stopped doing any kind of dressing. And she would wear the saffron cloth of separation, because the saffron color, it resembles separation. That is the, like how when we are in the battlefield, if one army wants to surrender, the cloth of surrender, the color of surrender, they put up a flag that, okay, we are surrendering, that is the color white. So the white color is showing surrender. Saffron-colored cloth shows separation. So Srimati Radharani personified this in her own self by wearing only saffron-colored cloth after Krishna left Vrindavan. Apparently, Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, but just apparently Krishna seemed to have left Vrindavan, and since that time Srimati Radharani used to adorn herself only with saffron-colored cloth of separation. And that is the reason why that Mahaprabhu, he actually could not, Krishna knew that, that Srimati Radharani had, would only wear saffron cloth. Krishna knew that. And Krishna, he was dressing as a king, as the prince of Dwarka, as the king of Dwarka later on. But he made a promise to Srimati Radharani that one day, Srimati Radharani, I will come and I will reciprocate, wearing the saffron-colored dress of separation on my body and taking on your mood and complexion. I will sing the glorious qualities of Radharani. Krishna made this promise to Radharani and to himself. So when he came as Mahaprabhu, this was one of the major reasons why Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas in order to reciprocate with the pure love of Srimati Radharani by accepting that same saffron-colored dress of separation. That is the reason why Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and he wore saffron clothes, just to reciprocate with the divine love of Srimati Radharani. And that is the reason why in our parampara, that our Guru Vargas also, they are wearing saffron cloth, because that is the color of separation. So that was something very, very striking that I found. And I was just recently, in honor of Sri Radhashtami coming, I was meditating on this Radhikashtakam. Sri Radhikashtakam is written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and I thought that to start off the mood of setting the mood for Sri Radha Ashtami, we can recite the first verse of Sri Radhikashtakam. Sri Radhikashtakam. Kumkumakta kanchanabja garbhari gaurabha pitonam chitabja gandha kirtinindishaurabha Ballabesha Shunashava Banchitatha Shadhika Machamatma Padapadmo Dashadastu Radhika. Translation: Her splendorous golden complexion steals the pride of a golden lotus flower anointed with a tinge of red kumkum. Her sweet fragrance mocks the fame of the aroma of a lotus flower sprinkled with saffron powder. She is fully qualified to fulfill all the desires of the son of the king of the cowherd men. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. This is a very, very beautiful meditation, this Sri Radhikashtakam. Very, very beautiful meditation. So I can urge all of us that we can read this, at least, in preparation for Radhashtami. But a very, very beautiful song that's written here. And just see how visual and how experiential these words are. That we can experience it. We know what a golden lotus flower can look like. And if you put a tinge of kumkum, red kumkum, on the golden lotus flower, how it would appear. That is how Srimati Radharani looks. Because Srimati Radharani's complexion, her Angakanti, is golden, is Gaurangi. And her lips are as red as the red kumkum. Her eyes are as restless like the little doe, as elongated as lotus petals. And just see how we can feel the presence of Srimati Radharani, or at least we can try to remember that Srimati Radharani is passing by, or we can feel her presence because her aroma, her fragrance is described here. We can experience it. Her aroma is talked about over here, that it is just like the aroma of a lotus flower. Any of us who've smelled lotus, There's a very subtle kind of smell. Unless you really dig inside, like you have to really go inside the lotus and, put your nose really close to the lotus, and a very sweet smell comes from the lotus flower, very sweet. And all of us have, we have the experience of smelling saffron. So imagine that lotus flower mixed with some saffron powder. That is the aroma, or the fragrance, the bodily fragrance of Srimati Radharani. So it's a combination of lotus and saffron mixed together, producing this transcendental aroma. So whenever, tomorrow, be mindful that Srimati Radharani is going to be present. She will be walking. She's present every day, but especially tomorrow. If you smell lotus and saffron, know that Srimati Radharani has just passed by. So she's fully qualified to fulfill all the desires of the son of the king of the cowherd men. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Srimati Radharani, extremely kind, extremely merciful, and her appearance in this world, in Bhauma Vrindavan, is very, very special. And it's a very beautiful pastime how she appeared in Bhauma Vrindavan. In Golok Vrindavan one day, Krishna, Shama Sundara, he wanted to go into a special forest grove that was made by a very beautiful gopi by the name of Viraja Gopi. The Viraja Gopi had decorated her kunja, her forest grove, so beautifully that Krishna was captivated by that forest grove. And he went to inside this forest grove to have intimate association with this very beautiful gopi known as Viraja Gopi. And Krishna, he kept his very confidential friend, Sridama, he kept him at the gate and told him, Sridam, I'm going inside with Viraja Gopi, so make sure that nobody would come in. And then Srimati Radharani, she was strolling in the forest grove, and then she saw, this very beautiful kunja, this very beautiful forest grove, and she saw Sridama standing in front of that forest grove. So she came to Sridama and said, Hey Sridam, where's your Sakha? Where is Shama Sundar? Have you seen him? He said, Yes, I saw him. He's there. And Sridama pointed the opposite direction. Then Srimati Radharani said, Okay, so if your Prana Sakha is there, what are you doing here? Let me go inside. I feel that he is inside here. So then Sridama said, No, Radhe, believe me. He's not here. He's there. He's there playing. I'm just standing here. I came for some business. So, I'm about to finish, so I'm also going. So then Radharani said, No, Sridam, I have serious doubts. You are hiding something from me. So move. Let me pass. So Sridama was instructed by Krishna, and Sridama said, No, Radhe, today I will not let you pass. And then Srimati Radharani started displaying her transcendental anger, and in her transcendental anger she said to Sridam, You are being so demoniac, O Sridam. You are being so demoniac that you are denying me entrance into this forest kunja. So I curse you that you will go down to Bhuloka and be born in a demoniac family. So Sridama said, Okay, Radhe, I accept your curse. No problem. I accept it. I will go down and be born in the demoniac family. But you, look at you. What are you doing? You are fighting like, how Vaishyas fight. So I'm cursing you that you are saying that you cannot tolerate a moment's separation from Krishna and you're fighting like this Vaishya girl. So I am cursing you that you will be born in a Vaishya community and you will have to suffer 100 years of separation from your Prananath. So hearing like this, Srimati Radharani said, okay, I take on your curse also. And then she immediately instructed her Sakhis to just, move Sridham. So, Radharani has crores and crores of Sakhis. So they just came and, just picked Sridhama and moved him aside. And Srimati Radharani walked into the forest kunja, the forest grove. And Krishna was able to understand that Sri Radhe is about to enter. So as soon as Srimati Radharani was about to enter, Krishna immediately vanished from that forest grove. And seeing that Krishna had vanished, Viraja Gopi, she was so scared that, now Srimati Radharani will come and she will find out that I was alone with Krishna and she is not going to like it. So Viraja Gopi, out of fear, she became water. There's a very famous saying in Hindi that dar se pani pani ho jana. So that was the situation of Viraja Gopi. She became so afraid of Srimati Radharani that she immediately became like water and she became the Viraja river. And when Srimati Radharani walked into this kunja and she saw that there was only Viraja Nadi, the Viraja river that was flowing, and that Krishna was nowhere to be seen. And then Srimati Radharani, she's a very expert astrologer, very expert. That is one of her, the 64 artistic qualities that Srimati Radharani has. One of them is that she is an expert astrologer, very expert astrologer. So using her skill and art of astrology, Srimati Radharani was able to figure out that this Viraja river was actually a gopi and that she, out of fear, became Viraja river. And she started finding out that where did Krishna go? And through her astrology, she found out that Krishna had assumed the form of a snake. In fear of Srimati Radharani, Krishna had assumed the form of a snake, and he was hiding under a tree, a little hole under a tree. So then Srimati Radharani, she came out of that forest grove, and then she assumed the form of a peacock. And she went and perched on that same tree. And she waited very patiently for Krishna to come out. Because peacocks and snakes are enemies. Peacock can eat a snake and kill a snake. So Radharani said, Krishna, you're very clever. You're trying to hide from me by becoming a snake. I'm going to take care of you. So Srimati Radharani had assumed the form of the peacock and she was waiting for Krishna to come out. So all of these pastimes, sometimes we tend to think that how come Srimati Radharani, we know her that she is the most compassionate one. She is the most merciful one. Then why was Viraja scared of Srimati Radharani? Why was Krishna scared of Srimati Radharani? Okay, Krishna being scared is understandable. That is their rasa. But what about Viraja? And why did Srimati Radharani curse Sridhama? And how could Sridhama curse Srimati Radharani? So this is what goes on in the spiritual world. But we need to understand that these are very, very specific leelas, that Viraja had to become a river because she is the dividing line between the material world and the spiritual world. So her manifestation had to come with a justifiable reason. That only when someone is scared, so much that they become a river. And Viraja's feeling of frightening, the feeling that she was having, was not so much out of guilt, that not that she was taking Krishna away from Srimati Radharani, but she was just feeling that, Viraja was feeling that, oh, have I, become an obstacle in the pleasure pastimes of my, Swami and Swaminiji, like for Radha and Krishna. So Viraja was feeling, her feeling of fright was out of love. And Sridham and Srimati Radharani, why they were cursed, why they cursed each other, that will be revealed in a short while. But what happened is, when Srimati Radharani was waiting as a peacock, Krishna then immediately came out of the tree in his original form and saw Srimati Radharani in this most enchanting form as a peacock. And Krishna immediately plucked one of the feathers of the peacock and adorned his crown. And that is the reason why Krishna wears peacock feather on his crown, because Srimati Radharani actually became a peacock for Krishna. So there is another reason also why Krishna wears peacock feather, but this is why, in connection to Srimati Radharani, that Krishna wears the peacock feather. And when Krishna assumed his own form, that time Srimati Radharani also assumed her divine form. And she immediately became very modest, very shy in front of Krishna. And, all the Sakhis, all the Sakhas, they came. And Srimati Radharani, actually Sridhama first came, and he came and begged forgiveness from Srimati Radharani and said that, Radha, I'm so sorry that, Krishna had instructed me not to let anybody in. And I'm so sorry, you are the queen of Vraja, and, your order is supposed to be the highest order for me, but I'm so sorry that I didn't allow you into the Kunja. So Srimati Radharani also felt very bad and said that, no, Sridham, I know that you were following the instruction of Krishna, and I'm sorry that I got angry at you. So then Krishna was witnessing, he was listening, he was smiling and listening to this conversation between Srimati Radharani and Sridhama. And then Radharani just looked at Shyamasundara and said that, hey Shyam, you are sitting and nicely enjoying our conversation, but what is going to happen to all the curses that we gave each other? And why did we curse each other? What happened? So then Shyam said that this is for a very special Leela that is going to manifest. That Radhe, you cursed Sridhama. He's going to go as Shankachuda, and he is going to have some of his desires fulfilled. And I will have some of my desires fulfilled. So always know that whatever happens here, it happens by my desire, and all of you are just playing the part. So that's how it is. I'm the director, Krishna said. So Radharani said, okay, but what about Sridhama's curse upon me? And he has told me that I'm going to suffer 100 years of separation from you. How am I going to suffer that? How will I tolerate that? I cannot even tolerate 1 moment of separation from you, Krishna. And then Krishna said that, yes, Sri Radhe, you will have to suffer 100 years of separation from me, but in reciprocation to that, you will get, millions and millions of lifetimes of pleasure from me also, and I will reciprocate with your feeling of separation. I will also reciprocate with that. So all of this is part of my arrangement. So don't feel anything otherwise, both of you, that why you did like this and acted in this way. So don't feel like that. So then hearing these words, Srimati Radharani told Krishna that, Krishna, I don't want to go to Bhuloka, because there is no Vrindavan, there is no Giriraj, there is no Radhakund, there is no Jamuna. How can I go to, all of this have to, they're here. How am I supposed to go there? I will feel so much separation. So then Krishna said, don't worry, Radhe. In preparation for you to go there, Giriraj is already gone. Jamuna is already there. So you will not feel separation. Please go there, and I am there also. So we will resume our pastimes there too. And pastimes of a very high level, Krishna said to Radharani. So then Srimati Radharani, she appeared in a place called Ravel in the 84 course Brajamandal, the 84 koshas of Brajamandal. And that place of Ravel is the last night stay that we have during the Brajamandal. And a very, very, very beautiful place, extremely beautiful place. That's the appearance place of Srimati Radharani. It's actually very near Gokul, where Krishna first appeared. Nanda Maharaj and Jashoda Mata, they were having a little palace there in Gokul. That's where Vasudev delivered Krishna from Mathura. And then later, because Gokul was so near to Mathura and very easily accessible by the demons, so when the demons were going on attacking, that's when all the cowherd men headed by Upananda and Nanda Baba, they all decided to move to Nandagaon. So that was on top of a hill. They thought that they would be more protected, from the attack of the demons. So, but first Krishna also made his appearance in Gokul, and from Gokul to Ravel is a very, very short distance. So from Ravel also, then Srimati Radharani, when Krishna moved to Nandagaon, then Maharaj Vrishabhanu and Kirtida Sundari Devi, they moved to Barshana. So that's how everything happened. So childhood of Krishna, how it happened in Gokul. Similarly, the childhood of Srimati Radharani was displayed and manifested in this exotic place in Brajamandal known as Ravel. Now Ravel, there's a very beautiful kunda, and there's a very nice temple where this is the only temple where you can see Srimati Radharani in the form of a baby. She is just like how Gopal crawls on his knees and he is having his hand outstretched like that, holding a laddu, or holding makhan, the deity of Gopalji. Similarly, Srimati Radharani, she is also like a crawling baby. She is also on her knees. So baby Radharani, this is the only place in the entire creation that Srimati Radharani is worshipped as a baby. Very beautiful deity, very, very beautiful deity. It feels as if she's going to blink at any time, She's so lively. This deity of Srimati Radharani is so lively that it feels that she will just blink at any minute. So captivating deity. And it is explained, the appearance of Srimati Radharani is explained that one day Maharaj Vrishabhanu was going for his morning bath and he saw a golden effulgence coming from the Jamuna. He went nearby and he saw that there was 1,000-petaled lotus, golden colored lotus. And in the whirl, in the center of that lotus, was this very beautiful baby. She was golden in color, and at that time, Radharani's eyes were also closed. She was a baby, newborn baby, so her entire body appeared to be golden, and she was just tinged with little kumkum, like her lips, her reddish lips. So, what we read here, that Srimati Radharani's complexion is like that golden lotus flower anointed with a tinge of red kumkum. So that is exactly how Srimati Radharani appeared. That she was this little golden child, and her whole body was golden at this point, and she just had her lips that was reddish in color. And the back of her lotus feet and the back of her palms, her palms, these were red in color. So these are the only 5 limbs of her body which were red in color. Her lips, her lotus lips, the 2 lotus feet, and her lotus palms of her hands were red in color. And Maharaj Vrishabhanu was so captivated by this golden child, he immediately picked her up, put his Angavastra on this little child, and then brought her back to his palace and put her in the lap of his dear wife, Mother Kirtida Sundari. And they actually were so happy that, they were blessed with this very beautiful child. And immediately they said that, yes, we adopt this beautiful baby. And Narad Muni, he heard that Sri Radhe had appeared. So he immediately came to see the newborn child. And immediately he started worshipping, but they noticed, Maharaj Vrishabhanu noticed, that the child was blind, that she would not open her eyes. She was not just going to open her eyes. Narad Muni immediately understood, and he said, but don't be disappointed, my dear Vrishabhanu. You should actually, make a declaration in the whole of Brajamandal that you have been blessed with, the most fortunate child has come to you. So, make a declaration that everyone can come and give their blessings to your child. So Maharaj Vrishabhanu, he made this declaration in the entire Brajamandala, and Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya, who were very close friends of Kirtida Sundari Devi and Maharaj Vrishabhanu, they were so happy that, their dear friends were blessed with a golden child, a daughter who has come. So they took their little Krishna, who was, around a year at that time. Krishna was around a year old, and he had just started, crawling. Krishna had just started crawling on his, and he would just, he would crawl on his knees, and he would, walk like that. Krishna had still not started walking, but he was able to crawl. So they came to Ravel, and when they came, they saw the child. They had brought so much gifts for Kirtida Sundari Devi and for this beautiful golden child. And, Kirtida Sundari Devi was expressing her, disappointment, or her, not really her disappointment, but she was saying to Mother Jashoda, who was her very dear friend, she said, I'm so fortunate to be blessed with such a beautiful child. But just see that, nature has given this defect to my daughter, that she is blind. So Mother Jashoda said, don't worry. She is the perfection of all beauty. So don't worry. Look at her features. They're so perfect. Don't worry if she is blind. It's okay. Don't worry. Like this, Mother Jashoda was consoling Kirtida Sundari Devi. And Srimati Radharani was kept in her cradle. And Krishna immediately knew why Srimati Radharani was not opening her lotus eyes. He knew that. So, when the elders were sitting and talking, Krishna, with his little baby steps, he started crawling towards the cradle. And then he held the sides of the cradle, and he stood up with the sides of the cradle, and he touched, Krishna with his soft lotus-like hands, he touched the golden cheeks of Srimati Radharani. And as soon as she was touched by the transcendental divine touch of Krishna, immediately Sri Radhe opened her lotus-like eyes and she saw Krishna in front of her. Because that was her desire, that she didn't want to see anybody else other than Krishna when she first opened her eyes. That is the love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna. That is how and why she is known as the greatest devotee of Krishna. That she didn't even want to see anybody else other than Krishna. That is her love for Krishna. So everybody was so happy that look, your beautiful daughter, now she is, giggling and laughing. And she has such beautiful eyes. Look at Srimati Radharani's eyes. Look at her eyes. I mean, her eyes, her eyelashes are so big. Her eyes are like, milk. If it is tinged with a little bit of kumkum or alta, how it gets like pinkish. So that is the color of the white portion of her eyes. And look at her eyeballs. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. It looks as if it is reflecting whoever is looking into. It's like a mirror. It is reflecting whoever is looking into her eyes. And they're so elongated like teardrops. So beautiful. Look at her eyes. Now this is the perfection of all beauty. They are glorifying Srimati Radharani. And the name Radha was a very special name. Ra stands for Rasa and Rasa Mandala, rather. Rasa Mandala, and Dha stands for Dhavita, Dhavamana. Dhavamana means one who runs. Dhavamana means to run. So one who runs towards the Rasa Mandala is known as Radha. These two syllables, that is the meaning of Srimati Radharani's name. Rasa Mandal ke taraf jo dhavaman hote hain, wo hai Srimati Radharani. That is Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani is so, chaste to Krishna. After this pastime of Viraja, Srimati Radharani, she was, one day after Viraja Nadi and, the Viraja river and everything happened, and, she was sitting with her Prana Sakhis again waiting for Krishna to come. Srimati Radharani said that, see, these Sakhis, Krishna gets attracted by the love that, everyone has for him. So I want to make such a place, I want to create such a forest grove for Krishna that Krishna will never ever be able to leave that particular place. So Srimati Radharani, what she did is that she actually took a lotus flower. She took an 8-petaled lotus flower. And she said that, and she was crying tears of separation from Krishna. And she took that, and the tears of separation was making like a little, reservoir of water. So Srimati Radharani took that lotus flower and she put it in that reservoir of water. And that reservoir of water became Ganga. And this 8-petaled lotus flower became Navadvipa. And the central wall also became an island. So there were 9 total, portions of the lotus flower. So it became 9 islands. And it came to be known as Sri Navadvip Dham. So Srimati Radharani, Krishna is the creator of all the worlds, the material and the spiritual worlds. But Navadvip Dham is a specific creation of only Srimati Radharani. And she created this particular dham so that Krishna would never ever be able to leave this place. And when Krishna saw this beautiful creation of Srimati Radharani, he immediately entered this forest grove, of 9 islands. And Srimati Radharani decorated it so beautifully. And he said to Srimati Radharani that in this forest grove we will become one. Radha Krishna Duitanu Eka Hoila Gauranga Swarupe. So which means that Radha and Krishna, who are two separate bodies, became one as Gauranga Mahaprabhu in this land of Navadvipa. So they became inseparable in this holy tract of land in Navadvip Dham. And Krishna said that I will never be able to leave this particular tract of land because, Sri Radhe, this is your creation. You have made this beautiful forest grove for me. So Navadvip Dham, whenever we, think of Mayapur or have the good fortune of seeing Mayapur Dham, going to Mayapur Dham, we should remember that the reason why Srila Prabhupada made Mayapur, ISKCON Mayapur, as our world headquarters is because of this special reason, as the appearance place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and because it is the special creation of Srimati Radharani. Radharani has created only one thing she has created, and which is Navadvip Dham. It's very, very special, very special. So this is one other meditation, and I'd like to share one very, very special pastime, and we can conclude with this special pastime and this very special meditation. We all know that how when Krishna lifted Giriraj Govardhan for protecting all the Brajvasis for 7 days and 7 nights, at that time, when the rains finally stopped, Indra realized his mistake and he came to beg forgiveness from Krishna. But Krishna would not even look at Indra. And then Indra, he sought shelter of Mother Surabhi. And when Mother Surabhi recommended to Krishna about Indra, that's when Krishna mercifully forgave Indra for his mistake. And then we all know how with Airavata bringing Akash Ganga waters, Indra actually coronated Krishna, and he actually bathed Krishna on the foothills of Govardhan, and that place came to be known as Govinda Kund, the water that bathed Krishna. And Indra also coronated Krishna with a name that day, and he said that your name is Govinda. Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the cows and who is the protector of the cows, the protector and the pleasure giver of the cows and the senses. So Govinda, Indra gave this name to Krishna. So all the Brajavasis, nobody knew about this, special Leela that Indra came to coronate Krishna, and this entire thing had happened except for Purnamasi. She knew about it, Balaram knew about it, and Srimati Radharani knew about it. So when Srimati Radharani, she knows about this particular pastime, so Krishna, after being coronated by Indra, was thinking that, this particular pastime is actually narrated by Srila Jiva Goswami in his book called the Mahabhava Mahotsava. That, Krishna was feeling that, okay, Indra coronated me, but, Radharani, she is Vrajeshwari, she is the queen of Vrindavan. I need to organize I need to organize something for coronating Srimati Radharani as the Queen of Vrindavan, officially, for everybody to know. So Krishna, he met with Vrinda Devi, and they devised a scheme. Krishna came up with a plan, and Vrinda Devi, he instructed Vrinda Devi that this is what we need to do. So Vrinda Devi manifested a big divine voice which echoed throughout the land of Vraja. And Vrinda Devi was addressing Purnamasi, because we need to understand that whatever Purnamasi would say, everybody in Vrindavan would agree to that. So Vrinda Devi addressed Purnamasi, saying that, "Oh, Queen of Yogis, I want you to bathe Srimati Radharani, who is the goddess of Vrindavan. So do not hesitate, let's arrange for the Abhishek of Srimati Radharani." That then, the ethereal voice was continuing, because Srimati Radharani was feeling so shy, that what's going on, why me, and Radharani always feels, that everybody else can get whatever they want, but I don't want to be in the front. She never wants to come out in the front and do and get recognition like this. So the shy Srimati Radharani was thinking, why me? So then, Krishna knew this, so he had already instructed Vrinda Devi to say this. So Vrinda Devi said, "O Radhe, do not hesitate to act boldly for the welfare of your kinsmen and Vrindavan. By this action, you will destroy unlimited misery of the world and bestow supreme charity upon all. After all, even the most reserved maidens must give up their shyness when they accept a husband." So when Sri Radhe heard this nectarian message, she said, "Okay, I do accept Krishna as, my husband." So in this, they selected a very, very auspicious, Purnamasi. She started arranging, she ordered the sacred waters of the Manasi Ganga, the Jamuna, Saraswati, and, in jeweled jugs, they started keeping all these waters from these holy places. And, also there were containers filled with ghee, milk, yogurt, and different kinds of fruit juices were all decked up and lined up, and Srimati Radharani was decorated so beautifully in a flower outfit, and she was wearing flower ornaments, and all the Sakhis and, Mother Jashoda, Vrishabhanu, Kirtida Sundari Devi and Purnamasi and all of Srimati Radharani's girlfriends, they all came and bathed Srimati Radharani. Her flower ornaments that were decorating her, she had a very, very, very beautiful, very elegantly made toe rings. She had toe rings that was anointing her, decorating her toes. There was a small blue, very, very small blue color rosebud, which was threaded with small jasmine buds and made into a beautiful ring, and that was fitted into her toes. Her ankle bell that was made with flower was with jasmine buds and little, buds of roses hanging down like pearls. Very beautiful. And then she was wearing a flower decorate. Her skirt was also completely made with flower petals, lotus petals, and, tulip petals. So many different petals, in very intricate designs was done as her skirt. She was wearing a very beautiful waist belt made of, jasmine buds, of lotus buds and rose buds. She was wearing a very beautiful long forest flower garland, and she was wearing a nice little choker made of jasmine buds. It was white in color, very beautiful. Then she was wearing armlets and bracelets. She was wearing rings in all of her fingers. And then she was wearing a nose ring with a little red tiny rosebud, and which was strung with jasmine buds elongated through her cheeks to her right ear, which is pulled up to her right ear. This was her nose ring. And she was wearing her Mang Tika, which is her tiara, in the center of her hair. She was wearing a very, very beautiful, decorated, like a teardrop shape. It was decorated with petals, and then it was, strung with jasmine buds. So beautiful, Srimati Radharani was looking. And then finally, the crown that Srimati Radharani was wearing was very beautifully done with just lotuses, lotus petals. She was wearing a crown made with lotus petals. And so this was the way that Srimati Radharani was decorated with her flower outfit. And when they started pouring all these different, auspicious ingredients upon her, all the Brajbasis were actually singing and dancing with great joy and jubilation. And, the entire ceremony was filled with auspiciousness. And after the bathing was complete, the gopis actually dried Srimati Radharani's delicate limbs, and then they dressed her in royal garments and decorated her with very costly and very, delicate ornaments and scented flowers. And Srimati Radharani was seated on a bejeweled throne, and surrounded by her Sakhis, Srimati Radharani appeared like the empress of divine love who rules the hearts of all purified souls. So then they were, they were all, exclaiming, the Jai Vrindavaneshwari, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. They were all, shouting like this and, ululating. Then, the Devatas, they also came. Swaha, who is Agni Devi's wife, they all came. Sachi Devi came, Indra's wife. All of them, they were, of course, disguised, and they came and offered very, very special gifts to Srimati Radharani. So, Srimati Radharani and, Srimati Radharani being the queen, she actually said that, okay, I am appointing Lalita Devi as my prime minister. So whoever has to do whatever has to come through. If they want an audience of Srimati Radharani, they have to come through Lalita Sakhi. So then Krishna, he was waiting for some darshan of Srimati Radharani. So then Lalita Devi, he approached Lalita Devi that, hey Lalita, please, what do you think I can do for this festival? So then Lalita said, oh Vanamali, everyone, has got some service according to their liking and their capacity. So tell me, what service do you want to render for the queen? What do you want to do? So then Krishna said, with great enthusiasm, Krishna said, I have a very important service that I will offer to the Queen of Raja. I desire to be the chief of police, and I'll wander throughout the land announcing the sovereignty of her queen. I'll be her, main bodyguard. That's what I'll be. So then Lalita Devi said, okay, if that's your desire, so okay, you can go ahead and do that, no problem. And then, Srimati Radharani was sitting there. Krishna actually came. He bowed down to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, and Radharani became very shy. And Lalita Devi said, no, don't be shy. He is your policeman. He is your bodyguard. And he is going to declare in the entire land of Vrindavan that you have been coronated as the queen of Vrindavan, Vrindavaneshwari. So, like this, Srimati Radharani smiled, and Krishna he wandered throughout Vrindavan, and he went and made announcements to everyone that the official representative of the throne upon which the daughter of King Rishabhanu now sits as the heavenly empowered queen of Vrindavan. So from today you have no other queen and no other master that other than Srimati Radharani, that she is the queen of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So at the completion of his duty, this policeman, this guard, he came and reported this news to the queen that, hey, Devi, I have, very, very, properly gone and declared in every corner of Rajamandal that Sri Radhe is Vrindavaneshwari. And, and then, Srimati Radharani smiled very, very beautifully. And then Krishna thought that there is something has to be done, some mischief needs to be done to make this festival more memorable. So, what Krishna did is that he actually said that, look, O Queen, what has happened? I had a little flute and it has disappeared. What can I do? And then Srimati Radharani said, O Lalita, O Vishakha, our will not prosper. That if this news spreads, that the bodyguards item is lost, then what is the guarantee that other subjects' things will be safe? So we should search. Let us search. So then this Prime Minister Lalita was, very irritated because she knew that this Krishna is doing some naughtiness, some mischief. So then, Lalita said, okay, let's do some searching. And then everyone, Lalita Devi said, okay, what we can do is everyone can just show, open their veils, all the ladies, they open their veils, and let's show the policeman if you have hidden his flute anywhere. So then everyone did that, and nobody could find where did the flute go. Where did the flute go? No, Srimati Radharani was seeing everywhere. Nobody could find the flute. And then Radharani told Lalita that, oh my dear Prime Minister Lalite, why don't you open your veil and let us see, because you are the only one. And then Srimati Lalita Devi, she opened her veil, and there, lo and behold, stood the flute. And then, Krishna started laughing. Srimati Radharani laughed very sweetly and, said that, okay, now we finally found where the flute was, and that, the policeman, Krishna, he got this flute back. And then Lalita Devi said that, okay, now as a punishment, that Krishna, for all your mischief that you have done, let us put you also on the throne beside Srimati Radharani. And then Srimati Radharani, and then, Krishna said, no, how can I go and sit beside the queen? I am just a mere policeman, just her bodyguard. Radharani, with her very sweet voice, said Krishna, addressing him as Neelamani, that a blue jewel, that you should not trouble me anymore, O Krishna. Please, dress of your policeman and accepting the dress of royalty, sit on the throne with me. Beautiful royal divine ornaments. His crown was given to Krishna, a bejeweled throne, and sat on the right side of Srimati Radharani. And, both of them were coronated as the king and queen of Vrindavan. So we see here that how Srimati Radharani, she never ever wants to be worshipped separate from Krishna. That although Krishna arranged this entire festival for the coronation of Srimati Radharani, but for Srimati Radharani, this festival became complete only when Krishna came and sat next to her and also became the king of Vrindavan. So this is the love of Srimati Radharani, which is unparalleled in this world, and that is the reason why Srimati Radharani is known as Mahabhava Swarupini Srimati Radha Thakurani, that her love surpasses, anything. It surpasses every single thing. That she is Vrajeshwari, she is Vrajadhipe, she is the empress of Sri Brajamandala. She is the queen of Vrindavan. And that is because she has accepted this position on the order of Krishna, and she made Krishna also the king of Vrindavan. So with this meditation and a prayer at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, it's very unjustified that, it cannot be, Srimati Radharani's glories cannot be just talked about in a mere span of 40-45 minutes or maybe an hour, but it's a special realm that we can not even what we have tried to speak here is just what we have heard from our previous acharyas and our guru vargas, and all we can do is just depend on the holy name. When we chant the holy names, Hare is addressing Srimati Radharani. And because she is the most compassionate one, even more compassionate than Krishna himself, that is why her name appears many more times in the Mahamantra, if we notice. Hare is appearing more times than Krishna or Rama. So that in itself proves the superiority of Srimati Radharani. That only by the mercy and the permission of Srimati Radharani will we ever get what we desire while chanting the holy names. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra's main objective is to bless us with Krishna Prema. And that Krishna Prema can be awarded by one who has Krishna Prema, and that is none other than Srimati Radharani. So when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, let us seek complete shelter at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani to pick us up and engage us in the service of themselves. That they engage us, Srimati Radharani engages us in the service of herself and Shama Sundara. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Vartaman Guru Vrinda ki jai. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the very, very beautiful pastime. Mataji, I have one question. The Viraja is same as Vrinda Devi, Mataji?
No. Viraja is different. Vrinda Devi is different.
Okay. But when the Vrinda Devi got married with Sankhasuda, yes, I mean Sudama became that Sankhasuda, that is who got by the Radharani. He is married with Vrinda Devi when they come here, Mataji.
Yes, but Vrinda Devi, she is the original Vrinda Devi who came. not Viraja.
Okay. Thank you.
Viraja is a gopi, and she became river, but Vrinda Devi is different. She's another gopi.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Is any question or comment for Mataji? The devotee have, they can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanvat Pranam. So beautiful class, Mataji. Thank you so much. Mataji, the Viraja river, is it the same that is between the material world and, on our way to Goloka, the same ocean,
yes.
that one? Okay.
Yes. That is the same one, yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I have one question. Mataji, in Srimad Bhagavatam, at which place Shukra Brahma has revealed about Radharani's name?
He actually does not take Srimati Radharani's name. Sri Shukra, he is the parrot of Srimati Radharani, and Sri Shukra was very careful that he was not going to take Srimati Radharani's name. He addresses her as the special gopi throughout the 10th canto. So, but the only, because he knew that if he would take the name of Radha, that Sri Shukra would get into such an ecstasy that he would not be able to keep the time limit that Parikshit was on. He would become very ecstatic as soon as he would take the name of Srimati Radharani. So Sri Shukra only, the closest that he addressed Srimati Radharani is as Aradhita, the one who is the greatest worshipper of Krishna. So he indirectly pointed out towards that special gopi Aradhita, Aradhya or Aradhita. That's the way, Srila Shukadev Goswami addressed Srimati Radharani in the 10th canto. Very indirect.
Okay, Mataji. I just have this question for a long time, so I just asked. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. I have one question. There is a Vaitarani river. Is it the same as the Viraja river?
Which one?
Vaitarani.
Vaitarani. I'm not sure, Mataji.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Because I have heard that we have to cross that Vaitarani river to go.
That is, yes, Vaitarani is another name of Viraja. You're right. Yes, the Vaitarani is another name for Viraja, a smaller name for Viraja. That this is mentioned in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and Vaitarani is known as Viraja. Yes, it's another name.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Because I was wondering.
Thank you, Mataji.
The name, this. So, okay, thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Koti Dandavat Pranam to your seva. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Mataji, how nicely you explained the Leelas of Srimati Radharani is the queen of Sridham Vrindavan and Sridham Sakha and Asti Sakhi. Mataji, you explained Radha. Ra means Rasamandal Dhara, and that is, Mataji, we are really not qualified to enter in Sridham Vrindavan, but by your eyes we enter in Sridham Vrindavan and we feel that Leela, Mataji. That was pranam to your seva. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Yeah. We pray that we are also blessed with that devotion that you have, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. No words to your associate and with pranam.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranama, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for so wonderful class. First of all, I would like to thank you for telling us that why the sannyasis wear the saffron clothes. So that was something new. That was very nice. And I didn't even know that Radharani was wearing that saffron cloth after Krishna left Vrindavan. Because I've heard that gopis used to take care of them very nicely so that if Krishna comes one day, then he won't be disappointed seeing gopis. So it's different. So Mataji, I have read that when Virja river became water, then Krishna came back after pleasing Radharani. He came back to Virja river and he embraced Virja when he personified himself again. And then these all these sea they appeared as a son of Krishna and Virja river. So what is that pastime, Mataji?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what that is. But yes, Viraja, although she became a river, she actually also still manifests as a gopi as well. So she manifests in both forms. You know, she is also a gopi and she is also a Viraja river as well. So I'm not sure of the other pastime. I don't know.
Because at that pastime, I remember I read in the book of Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, in Radharani book.
Yes, that pastime is mentioned over there, so I don't remember it. If you would like to share.
Mataji, actually, I don't exactly remember. Means when she became water, means like when Radharani came to know that Krishna is with Virja, then she was very much angry. And again, she wanted to please Krishna, so she manifested a more beautiful place than whatever Kunja Virja manifested. So she made Navdeep. And by seeing Navdeep, Krishna got so much attracted, then he promised Radharani to stay there. And they performed pastime. And then again he came back to Virja and he was searching where is Virja. And
you were saying Navadvip. I heard something else, but I didn't mention that already in the talk. I did mention that.
Yeah. So that pastime he was means like Maharaj mentioned like this. So I forgot how that seas and all came into picture.
What came into picture?
Means like how these all seas, means these oceans manifested after Krishna came back to Virja and he embraced her.
That part I don't remember.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much. It was, to get these intimate stories was really unbelievable. I just had one question about the saffron color. You said that Radharani chose it as the color for her feelings of separation. But I think you probably don't know why she chose that particular color to represent her separation, right? Is it?
Well, the answer was given. It is called as Aruna Vastra. If you remember what I was reading, that Mahaprabhu is telling to Lokanath Goswami that Aruna Vastra. Aruna means the color of the sun. The color of the sun is at its setting, so it is explained, by Srila Jiva Goswami Pad that when Krishna would come to, when there is Sambhoga, it is like the rising of the sun. Everything becomes brightened. But when Srimati Radharani would experience separation from Krishna, it was like the setting of the sun's color. Then if you notice that entire sky becomes like saffron at one point, it just like as if the creation comes to a standstill at there's one particular point. That happens. It happens. You can experience it. So that is that, a moment that she chose, that, the sun is setting, so, everything is like, even the sun of happiness in her life is setting, so therefore Srimati Radharani chose the Aruna Vastra, the saffron-colored clothes. That's why she chose that.
But you said something about, I didn't catch the words, something about Krishna offering bhoga?
Oh,
did you say something?
Sambhoga means union.
Oh, Sambhoga, yeah. And so, can you just repeat that part where you brought in Sambhoga?
Well, Sambhoga means in union, so the argument can be given that, the sun has two aspects, right? When it is rising and when it is setting. So both times you can experience the saffron, ambience. You can experience it. But when the sun is rising, it's more of the golden aura that comes. It's very bright. It's very, it has hope, But when the sun is setting, Jiva Goswami offers this explanation that when the sun is setting, the entire ambience of the atmosphere becomes, that, the sun is going away, it's going to be engulfed into darkness, and, that just that moment before it's engulfed into darkness, that's the color of that saffron, So that is why it is the mood of Vipralambha, service and separation. That is why Srimati Radharani chose that as, so the setting of the sun is called as Vipralambha. The rising of the sun is Sambhoga, like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for a beautiful class today. I was not able to listen to all of it. I had to get off the call for a little bit, but thank you so much, because whatever I heard, I did understand a few things. I have had this doubt in my mind for a long time. Why is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like why is Krishna always cushioned, Krishna and Rama, the two names, why are they cushioned by Hare so much? Right? Because we keep saying Hare, and you offered a beautiful explanation for that, Mataji. Thank you so much. That makes so much sense here. Because we need Srimati Radharani's compassionate blessings in order for us to approach Krishna and Rama. Mataji, I do have one question on the saffron color. I understood why you said Srimati Radharani wore saffron after Krishna left. But why are the sannyasis, why are the renunciates wearing saffron? Is that to show separation from material life, or they are getting closer to their spiritual life, right? So they're getting closer to Krishna.
But we are actually in the parampara of Lord Chaitanya, right? Lord Chaitanya is part of our parampara, and especially Lord Chaitanya, he exemplified service in separation, which is Vipralambha. So, the services that we are rendering, it is not in Sambhoga, it is not in union. We are, like our spiritual masters, they are, suffering the pains of separation from their spiritual master. It is, the least to start with. And there is also the separation from Krishna, physical separation from Krishna. So unless and until we are reunited with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan, till then, we are rendering service in separation. So therefore, the color is saffron. Does that make sense?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
It's just, once Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, since he had the stroke in 2008, I remember in 2013, one time he was asked by one of his godbrothers, then, Maharaj, how are you? Are you feeling any pain? Because, he's always sitting on the wheelchair. And, to always, we cannot even imagine the pain that, paralysis can have on one person. But, so this godbrother asked him that, are you feeling any pain? Are you okay? Are you feeling any pain? And Jayapataka Maharaj responded, the pain that I'm feeling in separation from Srila Prabhupada is much greater than this physical pain that I'm undergoing. That was his response.
Thank you, Mataji.
So that is what our Guru Vargas, each and every one of them, they are feeling immense separation from Srila Prabhupada, from, Krishna. So they are in the mood of separation. Right?
Yes. Mataji, why is it more... Why do we have to focus more on the separation rather than union? Or does that help us? Does that help our us to get closer to Krishna quickly? Or
yes,
why
it does. Because Sambhoga union has whenever the gopis are with Krishna, when Srimati Radharani is with Krishna, they are personally, physically present with Krishna, but they would know that, maybe Krishna will go away now. He'll go away now, Whenever Krishna would visit each of his queens, they would think, oh, now Krishna is here, but he'll go away. He'll go away. So it is explained by Srila Prabhupada that the feeling that the bliss that is there in separation is much more, because the feeling of separation, it culminates in Sambhoga, It culminates in knowing that, yes, this feeling of separation will be ended soon and I will be reunited with my beloved, That feeling keeps us going. And it makes us do things that can accelerate that feeling, that we can achieve that, So that is the difference why Vipralambha is considered to be higher than Sambhoga, because Vipralambha, it has the way that we can actually experience Sambhoga. It is the way and the means, and also it is, there is hope, and there is desire to work towards that hope. So it is much more sweeter, because you see, Krishna, that is the beauty of spiritual life, that, or anything spiritual rather, that when we are thinking of Krishna, we are actually with Krishna. There is no difference, because Krishna is absolute. So similarly, there is, just like how there is no difference between Vapu and Vani, of the spiritual master. Vapu means physical association of the spiritual master. Vani means following the instructions of the spiritual master. But which is higher? It is the Vani association of the spiritual master. That is considered to be more higher. Why? Because you are following the instructions of the spiritual master and you feel more close to the spiritual master even though there is physical separation. Prabhupada was witness of that. He has given us witness of that. And each and every one of us can experience that to a minuscule level too. That not all the time are we blessed to be in the association of our Guru Vargas. We are not. But what do we have as our sustaining grace? What do we have? It is the instructions that are given to us by Srila Prabhupada, by our Guru Vargas, that sustain us in our spiritual life. That simply by following those instructions, we are, making spiritual advancement. And when we are following the instructions, we are in very close proximity. We are deeply connected to our spiritual masters. We are deeply connected. So similarly, that is the beauty of spirituality. That when we are serving in separation, there is sambhoga right there in Vipralambha itself. You can experience, because that's the only way that Srimati Radharani was able to tolerate the separation from Krishna, because whenever she would remember Krishna, Krishna would be present with her. He would be present with her. That's how she was sustaining her life here. Otherwise, how can you? If you ask any of our Guru Vargas, they are continuing because they feel that deep connection to Srila Prabhupada. So there is sambhoga within Vipralambha. There is Vapu Seva within the Vani Seva. You see? So that is the beauty of spiritual life. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Mataji.